And this next one, this should be a fun fight. We got Shayilan Nuerdanbieke. He's going to be taking on Darrick Minner. And like a lot of fights on this card, it's another grappler versus grappler matchup. Darrick Minner is the more dynamic grappler. He has 22 submissions. But Shayilan Nuerdanbieke is no slouch. I mean, the guy has 10 submission wins, 17 KO TKO wins. So both these fighters are finishers of the highest order. Darrick Minner is 2-3 so far in the UFC. He got a quick submission win over TJ Laramie. He got a decision win over Charles Rosa. And then he has losses to good competition in guys like Grant Dawson, Darren Elkins, Ryan Hall. For Shayilan Nuerdanbieke, he's 2-1 in his UFC career. He had a tough debut. He fought Josh Culibauer, I think is underrated, very good fighter. Dropped a decision in that fight. And then got 2 wins over lower level fighters in Sean Soriano and TJ Brown. TJ Brown is an okay win, I would say, but I think Minner is fighting for his contract here. He has 2 losses in a row, so the man with much more to lose is Darrick Minner for sure. And this is the second crack in a row also for James Krause to break down Nuerdanbieke and get the win over him. So Nuerdanbieke is going to be able to have a chance to defeat James Krause 2 times in a row, or James Krause is going to, get the beat on him. A lot of people talk about James Krause being a wizard, such a great coach. So he's going to have a chance here after watching Shayilan Nuerdanbieke beat his guy TJ Brown in the corner to come up with a better game plan for Darrick Minner here. But for Nuerdanbieke, he is experienced and he has decent striking. He has pretty good upper body movement. He'll try to slip and rip with big overhands, hooks. And his last fight, he did land a big right hand that dropped TJ Brown. But he is susceptible to leg kicks for sure. You do have to avoid getting taken down off the kicks because he does have good wrestling, good timing on his body locks. He's very strong. But his striking overall, he's pretty rudimentary. He's very hittable when you back him up. He definitely is very vulnerable. And I feel like both these guys aren't the greatest strikers, but Minner is maybe a little bit better. But when Nuerdanbieke can get his wrestling going and get on top, he does a good job of great fighting legs, trapping wrists, opening up positions for ground and pound. He has a lot of ground and pound finishes, and his go-to submissions are arm triangles and rear naked chokes, and mainly gets submissions after breaking and gassing guys out. And earlier in his career, he did get submitted several times, and that's a little bit of a worry when you're facing a submission specialist that's extremely aggressive like Darrick Minner on the ground. But he hasn't been submitted in over 3 years, Nuerdanbieke, and he did get submitted, though, 6 times overall in his career. He's got put in some submission danger even in the UFC. TJ Brown had him in a triangle at the end of the first round. And if I were Nuerdanbieke, I would try to keep it standing early, not grapple as much, try to get Minner tired by defending some takedowns and maybe eating some punches and keeping the pressure. And then as the fight goes on, when Minner starts to slow down, then you can get the takedowns yourself. But I think Nuerdanbieke has a better cardio and he has to fight smart and try to weaponize that. Darrick Minner, I mean, he fights one way and it's all action. He's trying to change his game a little bit, be more economical, but Minner wants to bring that neck home with him in the first round if at all possible. And on the feet, he likes to be wild. He's pretty mobile. I think he's the faster guy. He stands tall and holds his hands low, and he has no problem with fighters trying to take him down. So he can let go with big overhands, hooks. His leg kicks aren't bad. And he'll throw some dangerous front kicks to the body, to the head. And he wants to be wild, so fighters shoot in on him, and then he can snatch the neck. His guillotines are top notch. He has some of the best in the UFC. When he gets taken down, he'll attack arm bars, triangles. He's a very dangerous guard. He has great sweeps. And he has shown an ability to get takedowns with doubles. I don't know if he's going to be able to take down Nuerdanbieke, but if he does, when he's on top, he's super aggressive with his back takes. He'll go to the mount and hunt triangle arm bars. He has good rear naked chokes and a ton of submissions. So in this fight, I feel like either he's going to get that early submission again, or the big issue with Minner is going to come and rear its ugly head again with the cardio. I mean, he tends to get himself tired going for a ton of submissions, and when he can't get them, he gets knocked out or he gets submitted himself. So kind of like a Charles Oliveira of old type of guy. I'm not saying he's the same level, but same type of thing where if he can't get that submission blitz finish in the first round, he sometimes will just fall off the cliff. But this to me is a good matchup for Minner. I mean, he might get clipped by being wild on the feet or get tired and then finish on the ground by Nuerdanbieke, but I think he has a big advantage in the grappling. Nuerdanbieke has been submitted several times, and I think Minner will be able to catch a submission in the first round. I think if he's taken down, he could sweep and get on top or submit off of his back. And I think the only way Minner loses here is how he always loses. If he gets tired and gets himself finished in the later rounds. But this is a step down in competition, and I think he's going to get the job done. He also should be getting some good pointers by his coach, by TJ Brown. He's coming off a loss to Ryan Hall, but Rhino is a strange matchup for anybody to fight. Before that, he fought Darren Elkins, and he was dominating the fight before Elkins turned the tables on him, and we all know how hard Elkins is to finish. And yeah, I'm going to go with Minner to win this fight via submission in the first round. I just think he's going to catch him. And even if he can't, I think he could still grind it out because I think he's the better grappler. And he can get on top or sweep and get on top and stall out some time if he's tired. So I'm going to go with Minner here to pull the upset.